Now we're going to have a look at the mod matrix. So we've been looking at the mod matrix during the video course whenever we've done any kind of modulation routing. We're going to have a dedicated video looking at it in a little bit more depth now. So for this video, I'm going to create a sound with 4 different voices. And the reason is we're going to use the mod matrix with the voice column and choosing some modulations that are going to affect certain voices and some which are going to affect other voices. So we've got 4 voices in total. Now let's choose an LFO and let's apply this to oscillator 1 wavetable position. Okay, now oscillator 1 I'm going to place onto the wavetable setting, and let's choose a wavetable at random. We'll choose that gravity. Let's bring up the amount. And you can hear that modulation taking place. So what we have here is a source column. This is the modulator, so the part of the synth which is going to send out the modulation signal. And these are what we've just been covering in the last couple of videos. LFOs and the multi-stage envelope generators will be within there, as well as some other things as well, things like velocity, modulation wheel, pitch bend, as well as things like filter envelope and amp envelope as well. So you'll see we've got quite an extensive list of different sources. Destination is what we're routing it to, and you can see that there's loads of different things that we can send modulation to, and it's well worth just taking the time out to experiment with some of these if you want to create some kind of weird and wonderful sounds. But let's actually just come in before we do anything further, and let's have a look at our voices here. So for the second voice, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the wavetable to be something different. You can see that we've got 2 different wavetables here. Now in this voice column here, I can actually choose which voice I want the modulation to affect. And what I can also do is actually choose these kind of preset configurations, so I could have voices 1 and 2 both being affected by the low frequency oscillator. So you can hear that. Let's actually solo these voices. So you can hear voice 2 with that modulation. And you can hear voice 1 with the modulation. Okay, so let's come in here and choose one of our multi-stage envelope generators. And let's place this onto oscillator 1 wavetable position as well. But for this, let's choose voices 3 and 4. Okay, let's just take this off solo. Let's come to voice 3. Let's choose a different wavetable. And in fact, let's choose a different tuning here. So let's make this a minor tuning. And then for voice 4, let's choose again a different one. Let's try partial sweep. And let's make this our perfect 5th tuning. What we have to do here is make sure actually that we give these 2 extra voices some unison on the oscillator as well. You can hear there we've got that thickened sound with the minor chord and then the perfect 5th as well. Okay, so let's give an amount here, and let's go to our multi-stage envelope generator 1, and let's create an envelope. So now what we're going to have is a kind of slowly moving modulation here from the envelope, and let's actually make this a faster rate. So the LFO affecting voices 1 and 2's wavetable position is going to be modulating using that fast rate LFO, and then the multi-stage envelope generator is going to be affecting voices 3 and 4. Pretty crazy sound. Let's actually come in here and make this loop. Pretty cool. Now let's choose another multi-stage envelope here, and let's leave this onto all the voices. So whenever we have this dot, kind of dot here, that means that we're going to be affecting all of the voices. And let's come to the effects bus, and let's choose the reverb dry wet amount. Bring the amount up, let's actually come here and switch on the reverb. Let's just click on it. We're going to go through the effects later on, so don't worry about that. But let's make it quite big sounding. Let's increase the color a little bit. And then let's come to our multi-stage envelope 2. Let's create another straight line like so. Let's make the length a little bit longer. Let's hear how that sounds. Let's actually extend that line. Now we're going way too loud there, so let's turn down our volume. Let me just have a look at the reverb here. Let's take down the dry wet, so we're actually starting off with no reverb, so it'll be a little bit more pronounced. So not too shabby really. So that way what we've got is voices 1 and 2 having their wavetable position modulated, giving us that kind of low frequency oscillator modulation sound, and then we have the MESCG 1 affecting the wavetable position of the other two voices 3 and 4, and then overall we have the effects bus 1 reverb dry wet amount being slowly modulated on that kind of increasing line using MESCG 2. So you can see that using the mod matrix in this way alongside the voices column, we can really bring this synth to life by adding in modulations on a voice-by-voice basis. And this is, again, one of the advantages of the differential unison engine, which I feel sets Dune 3 apart from a lot of other synths that are out there. Okay, so let's just quickly reset the sound. There is something else I just wanted to show you briefly on this. Now, we actually have the mod matrix as a destination here. So what's going on there? Well, let's choose something very simple. So let's put the LFO onto the filter cutoff like so. Let's leave the amount down actually. Let's bring the filter down. And let's use LFO2, but the destination we're going to apply as modulation matrix amount 1. Okay, so let's come to the LFOs, LFO2. In fact, LFO1 let's speed up and let's make LFO2 quite slow. So what's going to happen is LFO2, if you look at this shape here, is going to be bringing in the modulation from LFO1 if we have this amount up. So we should hear the fast LFO modulation from 1 being brought in by the slowly evolving shape of LFO2. That's what you can hear there. So if we just had a straight modulation from LFO1, that's how it would sound. But having that set up as a modulation matrix amount modulation as a destination, we're able to bring that in using a secondary modulation source. Okay, so that's the mod matrix. So what we covered in this video is the fact that we can apply these modulations on a voice-by-voice basis using our differential unison engine. Remember, we've got these 8 voices here. So it allows us to, say, apply LFOs to certain voices, MESCGs to other voices, loads of flexibility. So in the example we had, I used an MESCG actually on a reverb amount on all the voices, an LFO on certain voices, and an envelope on other voices. Loads of flexibility. And also just in the second example, we had a look at using the modulation matrix amount as an actual destination within the mod matrix. So that's our mod matrix covered. In the next video, we're going to have a look at arpeggiators. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.